There once was a man named Verdun, walking down a lonely, winding road. As the man arrived at a river, he found it was too treacherous to cross. Verdun was clever, however, and fashioned a bridge out of a fallen oak tree. As he crossed, a shadowy figure appeared before him. It was Death, and he felt cheated. Normally people drowned in the river, and Death vowed that he would take Verdun's whole life away from him when he least expected it. Verdun, terrified by this new destiny, travelled to the place where the old witch Lucy lived, hoping to find a solution. Lucy listened as Verdun told the tale of his encounter with Death, and that the only way he could stay amongst the living was if Lucy granted him the gift of immortality. So Lucy reluctantly had Verdun collect the blood of a billy goat, and that the blood touched nothing but the pouch he had been given. Verdun, set with this task, hurried deep into the woods and slaughtered a goat, careful to not let the blood touch anything but the pouch. When he returned, Lucy poured the blood into a wooden cup filled with mixed herbs and ordered Verdun to drink it. Verdun, drunk with this new power, thanked the witch and turned to leave, but Lucy stopped him and warned that the only way to reverse his curse was by passing it on to somebody else through the same practice they had done that night. Verdun laughed at the old witch's warning, vowing to never give his gift away. Years passed, and Verdun heard of Lucy's death. He visited her the day she was buried and silently thanked her for his gift. He lived on for another 100 years, each year growing more weary as he began to feel the ache of living. Some 200 years after the death of Lucy, however, Verdun had the fortune of meeting a girl named Victoria and falling in love. Verdun wasted no time and married Victoria that year. Verdun and his wife were blissfully happy, but he soon realized that Victoria would grow old and Verdun stay forever unchanged, so he tried giving the gift away, but no one wanted that curse. During that time, Victoria had become more and more sick, until one frightful day she collapsed. Verdun held his dying wife in his arms, as suddenly the figure of Death appeared before him. Death laughed at Verdun and told him that he had vowed to take away Verdun's whole life when he least expected it. Victoria was Verdun's whole life, and he pleaded to Death to take him instead, but Death refused, and said that Verdun had sealed his fate the day he cheated Death by becoming immortal. And so, Death took away Verdun's whole life, just as he had promised, and Verdun realized that he was doomed to be alone for all eternity.